Good evening, everyone. Hello. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Samuel. Good evening to every one of us out here. It's a new week, and we will be starting off with a new subject today, geography. Um, I hope every one of you are doing well and you are studying well. Good evening, Sipor. Good evening, Ilu. Good evening, Moy. So yes, how I don't know how you have read geography, how you have been studying it. So in around 11 to 12 classes, Bilu, good evening. Good evening, Jesse. 11 to 12 classes, I'll be talking about geography, and I'll be mixing up both physical and Indian geography together. There will be certain portions, yeah. I mean, like the important ones that usually comes from an exam point that are usually important from an exam point of view. We will try to discuss it. Okay, we will. Um. All right, let's just carry on. I hope you can see my screen, everybody. Are you able to see my screen well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, it's okay. Only Indian geography, it's okay. We can continue with our discussions. I will talk a lot about physical geography. Just the NPSC and NSSP doesn't demand world geography from us. It just demands Indian geography. Okay. Wait, let me just show you the NSSP syllabus as well. It just doesn't specifically define NSSP doesn't specifically define anything regarding geography. I mean, like there is, but then it will just simply mention Indian geography. Okay. Um, so syllabus to NSSP, NPSC, there is no clear-cut distinction between the two of them. So we'll just look at it. If you can identify this wrong statement, I'll just show it here, A, B, or C. Let's just test our geography knowledge, how and where we lie. Okay, so the Himalayas are a relatively young fault mountain range. Mount Everest, the world's highest peak, is located in the Aravalli Range. Himalayan range plays a crucial role in influencing India's monsoon climate. So which one do you think is the incorrect statement out here? Okay, so Mount Everest, the world's highest peak, is in which range? It is in the, not the Aravalli range, but which range is it in? It is in the Himalayan range, okay? Identify the wrong statement. The Ganges River originates in the Himalayan mountains. Brahmaputra River flows into the Bay of Bengal, and the Narmada River flows eastward into the Bay of Bengal. A, B, or C is the correct or incorrect answer. I mean, like, which one is the incorrect statement? And that incorrect statement is your correct answer. Very good. Below, yes, C is the incorrect statement out here because as we know, wait, let me shift this to the good notes. कोई किधर गया? Import as new document. See, so if we have this, if this is our India, for example, I'm just going to it will be all here and there, okay? For all of us, I think map drawing is also very important. Okay, so if you can just draw an outline map of India just like this, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just first draw this Jammu Kashmir region, leave a little space for Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand will be here, and you make space for Nepal, and then you make space for Bhutan. The northeast will come here, Arunachal, Ityutak, Nagaland, Manipur, Tripura, Mizoram, Meghalaya, and then you come down with, where is our chat? Let me bring it up. I feel that I'm just talking. Okay, I'm just going to mention something, okay, here, for those of you who are not very clear with this answer. So if this is our India map, okay, first statement. The Ganges River originates in the Himalayan mountains. Okay, everyone says the Ganges River originates in the, I will clarify this as well, in the, yes, Uttarakhand region from Gangotri Glacier, and it will come, once part of it will flow into Brahmaputra, Bangladesh, and the other portion will come here, drain in Ganga Sagar. Okay, so this one is fine, Ganga Sagar there. This part in the river Ganga, when it flows into Brahmaputra, it is known as Padma, okay? And this part will be known as Hooghly. Ganges River is formed by the confluence of two rivers, as we all know, Bhagirathi, okay? And this is Alaknanda. So this was one of your NSSP questions, 2024. Ganges River and Bhagirathi meets where? They meet at Devprayag. All right, this was your NSSP question 2020. For now, Brahmaputra River flows into the Bay of Bengal. So, okay, Brahmaputra River, if we will look at the course, it will originate here from the Angsi Glacier. It will flow here. Just follow along, okay? I believe, see, by now, I believe that you have at least read geography somehow or the other, nah? And then Brahmaputra River will flow as Yarlong Tsangpo, and then it will cross Arunachal Pradesh as the Hang River, Brahmaputra River, it will take a turn and it will connect here. Now this Brahmaputra River, as it enters Bangladesh, it is known as Jamuna. All right, and then it will come down and it will drain here in the Bay of Bengal. This is your Bay of Bengal. Okay, so this is a correct statement as well. Now, if we look at the Narmada River, this Narmada River is actually the longest west flowing river, okay? So what will happen is this originates from the Satpura Hills, okay? Satpura Range, as we will all know. So the Satpura Range is here, okay? This is your Satpura Range. Satpura Hills or Satpura Range ase. Aro corner din na Satpura laga corner de we have a Amarkantak Peak, okay? So these are things you will have to be clear with. Amarkantak Peak, from here the river Narmada originates and it flows in the Narmada Rift Valley. Narmada Rift Valley, which lies between, this is your Vindhya Hills and this is your Satpura Hills. It flows between your Vindhyachal and your Satpura. Okay, and it drains in the Gulf of Khambat. Okay, so this is how we will go about with the discussion of our class. Okay, so this is how you need to study geography, which should be very clear. Okay, you need to know geography, where a river is originating, where the river is draining. So all of this comes in your exams. Okay, identify the wrong statements out here. Nope, Gulf of Khambat is this one. This is your Gulf of Kutch. Gulf of Kutch. Okay. Yes, you're welcome. And then identify the wrong statement out here. The Western, and what sea is this? We have your Arabian Sea here, right? Arabian Sea. This is your Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea. This is your Indian Ocean, right? We will study all of these things. I'm just giving you a disclaimer or an intro of how we are to study geography. Identify the wrong statement. The Western Ghats receive heavy rainfall during the monsoon season. A. The Thar Desert experiences extremely raw rainfall. B. C. The Coromandel Coast receives the majority of its rainfall during the summer monsoon. Which one is the incorrect statement? A, B, or C? A, B, or C is the incorrect statement. Which one? Geography class is going to be very interesting, I assure you. You will learn a lot from this if you are just focused and if you are following along, if you are participating as well, okay? See, why with the question mark? In Gaolong, good. I need your confident answer, okay? Okay. So we are talking about the monsoon. See, from here, This question was particularly from your river drainage system. This statement is particularly from your physiographic division of India. All right, the northern mountains. And this question is from your, also from climate particularly, okay, CLIMATE. Okay, so again, if we look at the map of India out here, I'm just going to draw the map of India. See, this is how rough ektana you should be able to make the map of India like this. Let me make it better. Okay, so Western Ghats is here, supposed to be. This is your Western Ghats, right? And Thar Desert region is here. And from the last discussion, okay, we will discuss this as well. Okay, just leave it. Thar Desert region is there. And then we have your Coromandel Coast. Coromandel Coast, yeah, yes, this one. This is your Coromandel Coast. This is your Coromandel Coast. Coromandel Coast lies, a part of it lies in Andhra Pradesh and a part of it lies in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so we're talking about the monsoon. So monsoon is nothing but a wind system, okay? We call it seasonal reversal of wind. But this monsoon, it is derived from the Arabic word mosim, which means season, okay? So monsoon is actually related to season, and it relates to wind system. But this wind, since it passes through the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, okay, it carries moisture with them and rainfall occurs. Now here, let me just tell you something. This monsoon wind, when it blows over Thar Desert region like this, there is no obstruction. No obstruction is there, and therefore rainfall doesn't happen. But when it comes here and hits the Western Ghats, what happens is, see, what happens is this. This is your Western Ghats, okay? And this is the monsoon wind that is coming. All right, as it is here. Now, this monsoon wind, as it hits the mountain, what happens is it starts to climb up the mountain. It starts to elevate, right? As elevation happens, we know that temperature is inversely proportional with altitude, which means that as more and more altitude, as we increase in altitude, as height increases, what we have is we have a decrease in temperature. This is called the lapse rate. The lapse rate of increase in temperature, of increase in height, and as a result, decrease in temperature. Height increase square temperature decrease square the lapse rate is equal to, for every 1,000 meters increase in height, okay, we will witness a decrease in 6.5 degrees Celsius. So this is our lapse rate. Okay, now as we increase height, increase square since it is coming in contact with the Western Ghats, there will be cloud formation out here. Okay, there will be condensation and there will be rainfall. Listen to this properly, okay? You will be clear with every question. So this rainfall will happen here, and there will be high vegetation here, okay? And this type of rainfall is known as orographic rainfall. Orographic rainfall. All right. Now, orographic rainfall, it is related to mountains, okay? Now, this orographic rainfall is happening here. Now, this is called the windward side. Windward side. Okay, so the Western Ghats, when the southwest monsoon comes, from June 1 day ahead, southwest monsoon, okay? The onset of monsoon. There can be an early onset of monsoon. If it happens before June 1, we call it an early onset of monsoon, early onset, like it happened this year, nah? And if it is delayed, we will say that there is a late arrival of monsoon. So this is your windward side, and this is your rain shadow area. SHADOW, rain shadow area. Now, what we have here, this aro itu pichidi chalaga area do, this region, all right. Now, this region is called the leeward side. All right, leeward side of the mountains. Now, what do we witness here? We will witness that since this June, July, August, monsoon winds are coming here and it is colliding with the Western Ghats. This region will receive heavy rainfall. Now this wind, okay, the same wind as it comes here and climbs down the mountain, it will now be dry winds. Why will it be dry winds? It will be dry winds because the moisture has already been shed here, okay? So it will be dry winds and this region, as it climbs the mountain, rainfall to yadi hoishi. Aru yadi ahibu na. This is the Coromandel Coast, right? And therefore, since these winds are dry winds, there will be no rain during the summer in the Coromandel Coast. See, the Coromandel Coast receives the majority of its rainfall during the summer monsoon. This is wrong. Extremely low rainfall because see, the wind will just pass through. Nothing is there to collide out here. Okay, this is one reason why Thar Desert region is extremely it does not receive any rainfall. Now the Western Ghats receive heavy rainfall during the monsoon season. Western Ghats during the monsoon season, it is receiving heavy rainfall. Western Ghats is here, which is called the orographic type of rainfall. Do we get this, everybody? Yes or no? If you get it, give me a thumbs up. Good. Now you are clear with this. I'll come back to this time and again, but this is how you study geography. Geography is like mathematics sometimes. Once you understand a little bit, the rest of the things are very easy to understand. All right. Now, if we look at the NPSC syllabus, NSSP to the Indian geography ni diga na ase na. But in this NPSC syllabus, tibe iko clarity diga na. So it just tells us in your prelims. So you have to follow this only. Rajasthan mostly receive hot dry winds. Hot dry winds, we call it the local winds of Rajasthan are called Lu winds, okay? It originates from Rajasthan. So this Lu winds, Thar Desert region where hot dry winds will come. Why is it hot dry winds? This is a high temperatures on low, and then temperature to bishi high as and there is no moisture, right? No moisture in the desert. So these are dry winds. So dry winds will blow from here, okay? Particularly regional winds, I say, the local winds, Lu winds originating from the Rajasthan or Thar Desert. Okay. Geography of India, including the physical geography, we're talking about the physiographic regions of India, 5 physiographic regions, northern mountains, and then we have like the Great Plains of the north, we have the coastal regions, coastal plains, we have the peninsular plateau, and we will have islands, okay? So this is the physical nature of geography. Social geography, we talk about the social aspects of it, the social life. What is the demography, right? What is the population? In the Ganga Basin, it is said that at least 20, some estimates says that 26% of the entire population of India resides in the Ganga Basin. All right. Now, economic geography means industries, the resources of different regions, okay? Different economic activities, geography, and on the main features of Indian agriculture and natural resources. So in your descriptive of just NPSC, but NSSP do nahibo, yatibi Indian economy and geography. It is mentioned along with Indian economy and geography is just mentioned. All right, so this is what you have. Now, if you look at some PYQs out here, very easy questions. Okay, which of the following states has the largest coastline? Anybody? The largest coastline? Yes, B is your correct answer, Gujarat. All right, very good. Which among the following state of India is called the Spice Garden of India? It is, no, it's not Karnataka, it is Kerala. Okay. The intensity of an earthquake is measured on? Okay, okay. Actually, NPSC said this question wrong. Always know that, I'll be clarifying this in our class, magnitude is measured in a Richter scale. Okay. Now, when we're talking about intensity, it is measured by a Mercalli's scale. The spelling of it, let me Mercalli scale. Okay, Mercalli. Mercalli scale bra measure koriwo intensity. All right. Karnataka is coffee. Yes, Karnataka produces the largest amount of coffee. What do you think is the world's most expensive coffee? Where do you think we find the world's most expensive coffee? Anybody? Assam? The world's most expensive coffee is found in Karnataka, okay? In the Kurk regions, it is called Kopi Luwak. So there is a rat, civet rats, okay? Civet cats or civet rats. This is a rodent. So they will eat the coffee seeds. They will semi-digest it and their excreta, okay? Excreta of the civet rats. It is the world's most expensive coffee in the whole world. You might not believe me. Let me show you. See, Kopi Luwak, Kopi Luwak. So civet coffee, okay? So semi-digested. So this is the world's most expensive coffee, which is also found in Karnataka in the Kurk plantations. World's most expensive coffee beans. Kopi Luwak. I don't know. Someone probably tasted it and they liked it and they sold it. Will you try it? Any coffee lovers out here, will you try it? See, I hope you're learning. So, yeah, the solar eclipse occurs when? When does the solar eclipse occur? Everybody, A, B, C, or D? The sun comes between the moon and the earth. Can the sun come between the moon and the earth? My question. No. The planet Saturn comes between the moon and the sun. Not at all. So you've got two things. The moon comes between the sun and the earth. The earth comes between the sun and the moon. So two options only. So solar eclipse occurs when the moon, it comes between the sun and the earth, okay? Moon, if this is your sun, this is your earth, and the sun's eclipse is falling on the earth. So this is what we call a solar eclipse. And when we're talking about the lunar eclipse, we are talking about if the sun is here, we have the earth, we have in the earth comes between, this is your earth and this is your moon. Okay, so this is your lunar eclipse. Aksai Chin is a disputed border area between. If you're not sure with it also, it's okay. This is the class that you will learn, okay? Aksai Chin is a disputed region. Okay, we have it. Correct. Very good. It is a disputed region between India and China. So this one, as per 2021 census, the rural population comprised of. The answer is 68 point something actually. All right, but then the answers are not mentioned here. Okay, so some questions like this, there might be error. So these are some questions. Okay, today let's solve some questions and I will give a little introduction of Indian geography. Okay, that's going to be it. Let's just test our knowledge, where our geography knowledge is standing. Okay. All right. In which of the following geographical regions of India are tropical deciduous forests found the most? A, B, C, or D? Tropical deciduous forest. Know that this is the most widely prevalent type of forest in India, okay? Anybody? Okay. Yes, correct. This is found in the Himalayan foothills. This tropical deciduous forest, they are also called monsoon forest, okay? Monsoon forest पे माती लगे. And this is the most widely distributed type of forest in India. And they are mostly found in regions which receives 100 centimeter to 200 centimeters of rainfall, like Himalayas, lava foothills, babo ito. Or northern plains, central India, and parts of western Ghats also, but mostly here, okay? States like, what do we say? Jharkhand, obviously Jharkhand will be there. I mean, like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Orissa. Na? The cyclones that affect India primarily originate in India cyclones. Indian Ocean, Himalayas, Deccan Plateau, and Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Correct. A is your correct answer because when we are talking about cyclones, cyclones originate over low pressure zones, but the base needs to be water body. Water body they originate, meaning oceans and seas. Yeah? Okay, cyclones. So if we have in the sea, if we have a low pressure zone, meaning temperature of 26.5 degrees Celsius, they say that this is the ideal temperature for a cyclone formation, okay? So there might be the development of a cyclone here. And India, we have your Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea here. Cyclones can originate in both of this, okay? What is the most commonly occurring natural hazard in India? Anybody? The most commonly occurring natural hazard in India are floods, okay? We are talking about so many regions. It is said that, okay, nearly 40 million hectares, okay, 40 million hectares of India, that is approximately 12% in your 12% of total Indian land, okay? They are flood prone, okay? Parasant is the highest mountain peak in which of the following regions in India? Anybody? Parasant. These are some of the things that we need to focus. Just want you to understand. Nope, it is not in Bundelkhand. Parasant, excuse me. Parasana, this is in Jharkhand. So if I give you the option, like hint that this is in Jharkhand, where will it be? Mm, correct. So this is the highest peak in the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay. It is a very Parasantuna Jain pilgrimage site. Which of the following state is the largest producer of bauxite in India? It is said that this state produces almost like, not almost, even more than 50% of India's bauxite production, okay? If you can get the hint, Sundargarh, yeah, Sundargarh district, Kalahandi district, Kandana. You're giving me two options, Seaborg. Very, it is Odisha. Good. Which of the following rivers is considered older than the Himalayas? Anybody? Okay, A. All right. Um, see, we have different two types of rivers, okay? Antecedent are all superimposed. These two types of rivers are there. Antecedent rivers means the rivers are older than the landform. Superimposed means the land is older than the rivers. Most of the peninsular rivers that you find in peninsular India, like Narmada and all also, they are superimposed rivers, meaning that there was land and the rivers formed later on after the land was formed, okay? Antecedent rivers, the river was already flowing and the land began to form as consequently, okay? Which of the following geographical Ganga? It is not just the Ganga that forms the largest delta. It is the Ganga, as I have mentioned here. See, the largest delta is not just formed by the Ganga, my dear. It is formed by the Ganga. This is your Ganga, and this is your Brahmaputra, right? So these are the Sundarbans. This is your world's largest delta. It is called the Sundarbans. Okay, formed by the distributaries of the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. Okay, Brahmaputra enters Bangladesh as Jamuna, right? Because the Sundarbans doesn't just exist in West Bengal. Sundarbans, you find the Sundarbans both in the. Why does the west flowing river doesn't form delta? The west flowing rivers doesn't form delta. There are two, three reasons. I'll tell you. So when you're talking about deltas, you're talking about a river is flowing from high elevated region, and as it comes to a low lying region, the river, it begins to meander, okay? It begins to meander and form distributaries, all right? Now, when a river meets an ocean or a larger body, this is known as your mouth. So in the mouth of a river, there can be formation of deltas and there can be formation of estuaries. All right. Now, see, this is high ground. This is low level, low ground. So in the low ground, we have the rivers forming distributaries. This is the main river, and if there are channels connecting to the main river, we call this tributaries. These are known as distributaries, which are the split of a river. Now, this region is known as a delta. Okay? Answering your question, if we look at this is all under what we will be discussing. We have your this is your eastern coastal plains, and this is your western coastal plains. You see the thickness? Which one is thicker? This one is thicker. Wider or thicker, okay? This one is narrower. The western coastal plains are narrow. And if we look at the eastern Ghats also, it is lying very close to the western coastal plains. All right. And the eastern Ghats will be like this, split into different because they are cut by rivers. We have different rivers: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Panira, and Kaveri, the 5 major rivers. So these rivers, though it slows down, and that is the reason why they form deltas out here. The coastal plains are wider, right? So it slows down to form deltas. Now here, since the Western Ghats is very close, Idukhan River, for example, we have Panganga, we have Mithi River in Mumbai, so on. You have the Riyar River out here, and so on and so forth, right? These rivers, they have very less scope to slow down. And once they do not slow down, they will simply enter the oceans like that, okay? And therefore, these are just estuaries. Estuaries में क्या मिलता है? Brackish water. All right, are you clear? Ngaulun? Good. Which of the following geographical areas do not receive rainfall from either of the 2 branches of monsoon winds? We have an Arabian Sea branch and we have a Bay of Bengal branch of the west monsoon, okay? So which one? Which region do you think do not receive rainfall from either of the 2 branches of monsoon? Anybody? Delhi, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana. Why do you think Punjab? It is your Haryana. It is said that Haryana also lies in the rain shadow zone. Rain shadow zone of what? If you have your India out here, for example, let's go to the map. See, I've told you that this is your Vindhyachal range. Vindhyachal. This is your Satpura. All right. And you have your Aravalli hills here. This is your Aravalli. Okay. So Haryana is basically here, right? So it is said that Haryana lies in the rain shadow zone, okay? It simply just receives approximately 50 centimeters of rainfall per year. Annually. And then Tiko, semi-arid region as in Haryana, though, as we all know, we study it. All right. Which of the following is the largest freshwater lake in India? Which one? Okay. Okay, correct. Wular Lake in Jammu Kashmir is your correct answer. Now, obviously, if this is a lake, it should be fed by another river, right? Lake cannot just happen exist that way. It needs to be fed by a river. Which river feeds the Wular Lake? Anybody? Do not check the internet, okay? It is a hint. Let me give you a hint. It is a tributary of the river Indus River in Jammu Kashmir. Anybody? Name a tributary of the river Indus. Anybody? Shiok? Nope. PS? Nope. Shiok in Gaulu. Where do you think Shiok River originates? Chambal is not a tributary of the very good Samuel. You're correct. It is fed by the Chilum River. Okay. So if we have the Indus River out here, so yeah, the map the highway. Let me show you the Indus River. Kutiase. Okay, so this is interesting diagram. So if this is we have actually drawn very important two river systems here. We have drawn the Brahmaputra River and we have drawn the Indus River as well. I mean the Ganga River. Now if we look at it, the Indus River system is from here. There is the Kailash Mountains and Mansarovar Lake, so it will come from here. And then it will go here and it will come and drain in Karachi in Pakistan, and then we will have the different tributaries of the Indus. Like this, we have Chillum. Okay. Okay. Chillum. This one will be Sutlej, Chillum, Chinab, okay, and we have Ravi, Bias, and Sutlej. So Wular Lake is formed here. Okay, Wular Lake, largest freshwater lake in India, which is the largest, how do I say, largest brackish water lagoon or brackish water lake in India? Anybody? Largest brackish water lagoon in India. It is your Chilika Lake in Odisha. Which of the following is presently the southernmost point of mainland India? See, I'm showing you this question because this is what we will be discussing from tomorrow, from today only. Yeah, Rig Vedic name of some rivers are also important. Like you have Vistara, Vipasha for Jhelum, Chinab Karne, Alak Indravati for, I believe, Sutlej. Yeah, we will discuss about this as well because exam dibi ahe to bina. Kanyakumari, southernmost tip of mainland India. Okay, do not forget this mainland. I'll come back to that. The major crops grown in the Kharif season. Kharif, winter nas, summer as first. Summer, good. Major crops that is grown during summer. Which ones do you think? B, correct. C, easy to remember. Kharif, summer, rice. Winter is equal to, this is how I remember, winter is equal to wheat, WW. And winter is a wheat crop, and this is your rabi crop. Okay, rabi crop. What percentage of land is envisaged as forest cover in the National Forest Policy of India? What for? Ore, Iman Pal. So this is your national 1988 government right release for the National Forest Policy of India, where the government wants at least 33% of India's total geographical area, okay, to be under forest or tree cover. Okay. When we are talking about the hilly regions though, the government wants at least 66% to be forest cover. But then, as per the latest forest survey, only around 23% of forest cover is there, okay? So we are way behind our vision. The Deccan Plateau is primarily composed of which type of rock? Anybody? A, B, C, or D? Deccan Plateau. A, B, C, or D? Very good. It is C. Because when we look at the Deccan Plateau, we talk about the Deccan Trap, for example. So the Deccan Trap or Maharashtra Trap that we have here, this region, this is formed by the cooling of lava, okay? Meaning, if this is a volcano, the molten material that is beneath the Earth's crust, it is known as magma, all right? And the molten material, once it comes and erupts and it erupts here on the Earth's surface, this will be known as lava. And this lava is made, the composition of the lava is basalt, okay? So when this lava cools down, it forms what? It forms basaltic rocks. Let me just extend it here. Basaltic rocks, once it undergoes weathering and erosion, it forms black soil. Okay, now black soil is good for growing which type of crop? Cotton. So black soil is also called cotton soil, or it is also called regur soil, or regur soil. All right, and that is the reason why we say that the this Deccan Trap region, it is good for cotton plantation. All right. Which of the following is the oldest mountain range in India? Nilgiris, Western Ghats, Aravalli, Satpura. Anybody? Correct. Aravalli Range is your oldest mountain. It is one of the world's oldest fault mountains. Okay, it dates back even to the Cambrian age. Okay, if we would look at it, it is approximately around 2.5 billion years ago. Okay. In which part of India is the Hemis National Park located? Hemis National Park. Anybody? Jammu Kashmir. Very good. By what river is the Brahmaputra? Yeah, I have also talked about this somehow. What name is the Brahmaputra known in Tibet? A, B, C, or D? Ito kan sob to Brahmaputra la river asido. Correct. It is known as Tsangpo. So Tibet, when it originates in the from the Angsi Glacier, I will say Angsi Glacier, okay? Its origin. In your old NCRTs, you will find it as Chimayungdung Glacier. But then now, proper estimation have been done through satellite imaging, and it is said that Angsi Glacier is the origin of the Brahmaputra River and not the Chimayongdong Glacier. And your Central Service exams already recognizes that this is your correct answer when you look at the answer again, not Chimayongdong, okay? So these are some of the updates that you need to make as well. So Angsi Glacier, when it comes and this is your Arunachal region, okay? Now there will be a syntaxil bend here. It will bend Korigana Ahibo. So when it comes and bends and enters here, this is your Yarlung Tsangpo River. Okay, as it enters this point of entry in Arunachal Pradesh, Laduna, it will be known as Siang. See here, Siang. Tihangdo Arunachal Valley. Before till Satya town. See, these things should be clear. Satya town. Satya town in Assam. From Satya town to Thubri. This is also in Assam. Garo Hills area is there. So this is known as your Brahmaputra. Now this Brahmaputra, I'll be repeating this, don't worry. This Brahmaputra, this from Satya down to Thubri, this is your national waterways too. Brahmaputra River in Brahmaputra is also called as Bulambuttar by the Boros, okay, the natives of Assam. Now Brahmaputra River, see, there are different names of the rivers as well, okay? So we can't just be very, relaxed with it. So near ini Dibrugarh, Lakhimpur site na, it's placed into two parts. This is your Khirkutia. All right, and then there's Tsongkara. Tsongka and Tsangpu. I've never heard of Tsongka. So this is your Kherkutia, okay, Lakhimpur Dibrugarh region there. And this region that you have, this yellow part that I have made here, this is the world's largest river island. What is the world's largest river island? Not just in India. Anybody? Majuli, yes, correct. Majuli Island is your world's largest river island, okay? So which of the following is not a coral, is not a form of coral reef? Anybody? Why do you say fringing is not a form of coral reef? See, we talk about. I hope you have heard about fringing or yeah, fringing. Let's just call it fringing reefs, right? So these are the coral reefs that is very close to the shore, actually. All right. So for example, you have Palk Strait here, and for example, Sri Lanka is here. So fringing reefs are mostly common here. Great Barrier Reef, right? Barrier Reef, though, you know it. Question is not a form of coral reef. So atolls, we talk about coral atolls, right? Ring shaped like atolls kan na Lakshadweep Islands. Islandic, okay? So islandic to go nam na hai. Na, there is no scientific term for coral reefs just such as islandic. Okay, so from here, have you all learned something or the other? Yes or no? Now, these are parts of physical geography that we will be discussing. Okay, where is the all right? Mm. Let's take 5 minutes break, and 6:55 we will come back. Okay, and we're gonna discuss continuously. Let me just bring some water. 6:55. Six. No, no, no. Class will be here. Class will be till. Kiman? 7:30 तक ही हो. 7:30 तक हो class. You want it till 8:30? I think that will be too much, right? No. Tushi. Aram lang ako. Aram lang. 3 more minutes break. Chalo, take a break. Already hungry. All right, let's start off. In order to understand Indian geography, we need to know where we came from as a subcontinent. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Can you confirm? Is the internet fine? ठीक है Azina?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 250 million years ago, the world Earth looked like this. Let me just bring up a YouTube video and show this. I took this from a YouTube video only. I couldn't bring the video to the slide. Okay. So this is 250 million years ago, and the Earth was a single monolithic structure. Okay, when we say monolithic, I'm talking about a structure that has been made from a single solid rock. Okay, meaning if we have a rock and we carve out a statue of it, we call this a monolithic structure. So the Earth was a monolithic structure, single, known as Pangaea. Now the ocean water or the ocean body surrounding the Pangaea was known as the Panthalassa. All right. When it came to 250 million years ago, the Pangaea, it started to split into two parts. Okay, into two parts. One, the other northern part was known as Laurasia, and the lower part began to be known as Gondwana. All right. Now, in the middle part, there occurred a sea known as the Tethys Sea. One thing that I want you to keep in mind is the Tethys Sea. There was the formation of a lot of rivers here. Iniga rivers formed Grusia from both Laurasia and Gondwana. Okay, now these rivers carried a lot of sediments with them. Okay, sediments, breaking down of rocks, decomposition. I mean, like aro. These sediments were placed. It were brought down by the rivers and it got accumulated. Okay, collected at the bed of the Tethys Sea, right? At the ocean, at the seabed. Seabed de jama gurishe. Itu naporiwe. Now here, 290 million years ago, it started to change again. Okay. Now, see, we find the Indian plate out here. Indian plate to yadi northern hemisphere asido. Now, this Indian plate, it is migrating like this. See, this is our Indian plate, okay, which was a part of the Gondwana land. Now, let me just show you a little video. Okay, see. See, this was how the Pangaea, changed. See, look at India. India dikhe na yadi na niche wale side Africa la side. See, it is splitting now. So this India is here. It is splitting. See, it has split now, and then it's going up, and it will come in contact with Laurasia. Okay, upper cho, and formation of Indian land must happen like that. See, do we get this? This is how the formation of the current world map that we have here. This is how we have. Let me just take a screenshot here. And then, see this. These cracks that you find here, what do you think these are called? Ito cracks kan ba? Or ito. So these are known as tectonic plates, okay? Okay, tectonic plates, which is like if you break the shell of a hard-boiled egg, it will have like irregularly shaped cracks like this. And these are tectonic plates. And these are constantly moving because of convectional currents. Convectional currents ki wajah se these plates are moving, okay? And so this Gondwana land has now come and collided with Laurasia out here. Now, what did I say? The Tethys Sea was here, right? Which had a lot of sediments. Did you know that Himalayan mountains, the Himalayan mountains, another name that you would come across for the Himalayan mountains is the Tethys Mountains. Why is it called Tethys Mountains? You see this? Tethys Sea, the Hishido yadi hai. Na. And this Tethys Sea it was squeezed, it got squeezed by the incoming Indian plate, right? Now, as a result of the squeezing of the or crushing of the Tethys Sea, okay, what we found was the Indian plate to yadi ahigana Laurasia lower collide korise. Nah, the Indian plate came and collided with Laurasia. This was the Indian plate, right? And this was Laurasia. Tethys Sea there, under there, we had a lot of sediments out here. Sediment deposition was there. Okay, this landmass, it came and collided. Now, as a result, this sediments, it got squeezed up like this, and it got folded. Okay, it got folded and it rose up. Now, these are the Himalayas. Okay, the Himalayas. And that is how the Himalayan mountains were formed. And we call the Himalayan mountains young fold mountains. All right, because it has a folding structure because of the squeezing of the sediments that was part of the Tethys Sea by the Indian landmass. And this mountains, it continues to increase their height by at least 5.5 millimeter every year, okay? Because the collision of the plate is still happening. The convectional currents are still happening, right? So the collision is still happening. So Tethys mountains pimate. So here we call the Aravalli mountains the oldest, one of the oldest fold mountains of the earth, right? So because they were existing in the Gondwana land from way before Aravalli mountains to Yaditagishido. Aravalli mountains here only here. Now this came and collided, it squeezed the sediments here and formed the Himalayas here. So Himalayas are young fold mountains, the Aravallis are old fold mountains. Okay, do we get this? Very simple, right? Okay, so see, this is how the current map is here. And in a few years from now, a few million years from now, it won't be the same again. All right. Now, if we look at the location of India, every location is determined by coordinates. What are the two coordinates? The two coordinates are latitudes and longitudes, right? We all know this. So scientists or geographers, they use the latitudes and longitudes in order to identify the exact location of a place. So latitudes, they are horizontal lines running parallel to the equator from west to east, okay? And they identify a place north or south of the equator. Okay, these are parallel imaginary lines running parallel to the equator. Longitudes are vertical lines running parallel to the 0 degree. We call this the prime meridian. All right, they are longitudes. When we talk about latitudes, how many latitudes are there, guys? Latitudes to kimana se? Total number of latitudes are equals 181 latitudes. From 0 degree till this much, we have 90 latitudes. 0 to here, 90 latitudes. It will be count to 181. Longitudes, we have 360 degree, or like 360 longitudes, okay? So this is India's location, okay? So this the equator, we know that it divides the earth into two equal halves. Upper part, northern hemisphere, niche part, southern hemisphere. The 0 degree prime meridian, it divides the earth also into two equal halves. We have the western hemisphere, and that's why we call it the west, right? These are the west, okay? And we have the eastern hemisphere. Okay, so we can say that it is safe to say that India is lying in the northeastern hemisphere, right? Now, we have different latitudes, okay? So this will be one latitude. This is one latitude, and this is one latitude. This is the geographical extent. When we are talking about the geographical extent, okay? See. One latitude here and the other latitude practically here. Ito tip end to na mainland India la sa there. Mainland India. So here from here we identify the geographical extent of India, okay? So let's just see this. So this latitude, okay, this degree, I'm so sorry. See, we have this one is Tropic of I'm so sorry. This that we see here. The eraser is too big. Okay, this degree that we find here, this is our Tropic of Cancer, which is 23.5 degree north latitude. So every degree that comes below to the equator will be known as south. See, Tropic of Capricorn is 23.5 degrees south latitude, right? And Tropic of Capricorn is 23.5 degree north latitude, right? Which is passing through India. Now, this tip to na mainland India la tip to, this is Kanyakumari. Didn't we come across PYQ as well? Kumari. This is in Tamil Nadu. And what is this latitudinal extent degree? It is 8 degree 4 minute north latitude. Okay. Now this one is the northernmost tip. Okay. Southernmost tip. PYQ says, oh, what was it? Southernmost point of mainland India, Kanyakumari. All right. Kanyakumari. Go ahead. This is your 8 degree. This latitude is 8 degree 4 minute north latitude. Now this one is known as Indira Col. Indira Col. Okay, this is your northernmost point. All right. This extent is 8 to latitude 37 degrees 6 minute north latitude. So it extends from 8 to 37. Now, but then this is not where the story ends. The story ends, see, itu lang nichidiwi sabi na. This is Kanyakumari, okay? For example, guys, ito Kanyakumari as eh. But these are Andaman and Nicobar Islands, we know. So ito do, even below this, right? See. So mainland India Quilito, we have Kanyakumari as your tip. But the southernmost tip of the whole of India, if we're talking about the whole of India, it is not Kanyakumari, but it is a place in Great Nicobar known as the Indira Point. All right, it is known as the Indira Point. Earlier, it was known as the Pygmalion Point. Okay. So this is the geographical extent of India. Now this degree of latitude is 6 degree 45 minute north latitude. Okay, this one is 8 degree 4 minute north, right? So this is the geographical extent of India when we're talking about latitudinal extent. Okay, now if we talk about the longitudinal extent, ito longitude ekta ase see. Just like this line, okay, we have the 0 degree longitude out here, and then 30 degree, 60 degree here. So eti ekta ekta line this is this one, and this is also one. Now this point, this is 68 degree 7 minute east longitude. All right, and this one is 97 degree 25 minute east longitude. Okay. Ayo. According to Bible, the earth was flooded back millions of years ago, and as to which there are provision that the fossils of marine remains are the result that we found in top of Himalayan mountain. However, we also see that due to the collision as mentioned, the Himalayas formed in the Tethys area, and it is said that the marine remains are from that, not from the flood during Noah era. What is your say on this? I think I don't know about the Noah wala, but I think it's very factual. It is not me who is saying it. Is continental drift theory is very real. Okay, so that you see the marine remains that you find on the foothills of the Himalayas and even here, they're actually, we have done carbon dating out here. Carbon dating and radiometric dating, okay? And this has been dated back to the like very long time ago. And these are marine remains that arose as a result of the Tethys Sea being squeezed and as the folding of the Himalayan mountains happens. Why is the latitude measured from mainland and not from southernmost point? It is measured from both. latitude is measured from here also, but if the question is asking you from mainland Kuilidu, you say Kanyakumari. From whole of India Kuilidu, you say Indira Point. The answer depends on how the question is coming. See here, that's why I'm saying presently the mainland Utiana zido, but India idu mainland la idu word na takilido, your answer will be Indira Point. Do you get this? Indira Point. And I have not come across where the Bible has said that the fossil remains are from the Noaga age. I've not come across that. But it is very factual, this collision of plate that has happened. Okay, this is known as the continental drift theory, which was propounded by Alfred Wegener. Okay, and it has been supported by the plate tectonics theory and everything, the movement of the tectonic plates. I hope I've answered your question, Laru. Why is latitude measured from mainland India and not? I think your question itself is not very clear. Because latitude is not measured. Latitudes are actually imaginary lines that are running parallel to the equator. See, equator itu kan sub to latitude asido. Latitude is not measured. By latitude only we measure the geographical extent, okay, geographical extent of a place or region. So we are saying that India's geographical extent is from, when we are talking about the whole of India, India's geographical extent is from. But from the thoughts of some people, what do you mean from the thoughts of some people? What is your source? No. We stick with what factual is, what scientific is. You believe what you have to believe, of course, but Bible did mention kuranay, scholars can be exact thoughts of some people. Come on. No. I believe, see, there will be so many, plenty and multiple number of theories. Yeah, okay. Noah time flooding, we're gonna do it, but I think you should very stick to the what facts is and what science is, right? In this regard, nothing against religion. I'm also a believer, a very staunch believer. Not I try to be. This is the Tetis C. Tula folding. Okay. Yes. So see, latitudinal extent. It is from 6 degree 45 minute north longitude latitude to okay, we said 37 degree, right? 6 minute north latitude. All right, and from 68 degree 7 minute east to, yeah, I have a slide on this, 97 degrees 625 east longitude. Now, this is your Kanyakumari. This is your Indira Point. This is Indira Col, C-O-L. This one is in Gujarat. We call this Goharmoti. All right, Goharmoti is your westernmost extension. This is in Gujarat. Now, this is your Kipitu. All right, Kipitu in Arunachal Pradesh. Easternmost extension. Okay, I have a slide, don't worry about that. Now, when we are talking about the geographical size, okay, total geographical area of India is this 332.87 lakh. Okay, 32.87 lakh square kilometers. All right, which occupies only 2.8% of the entire total geographical area. Now, the largest country we have is Russia. Is the largest country, followed by Canada as per total geographical area, China, USA, Brazil, and then Australia. 7 is India, Argentina, Kazakhstan, and Algeria. Okay, these are your top 10 nations when you're talking about by geographical area. And India only occupies 2.8%, but India is now the largest, not the largest, I mean like the largest, India has the largest population in the whole world. Okay, so this is our geographical extent. See, approximately 68 degrees 7 minute east longitude to 97 degree. This is important, you remember. This is your Indira Col, northernmost point.
Kanyakumari, southernmost, but below even Kanyakumari, you have your Indira Point, which is in the Nicobar Islands, in Great Nicobar. All right, and so you have Kibitu as the easternmost extension of the mainland India, and Koharmoti as the westernmost extension here. And you have the, yeah, I'll talk about the Tropic of Cancer as well. Now this is the Tropic of Cancer. Exam DB, the question be I hit again, okay? So the Tropic of Cancer, as you see here, PDF of some of, see, what you can do is you can take screenshots, because here, these ones I can, but when we are talking about the history PDF, I'm not able to send it because that one is very confidential. There have been contracts and agreements signed regarding that one, but then I'm using here as well. So if that one I'm not able to share, I'm very sorry. But if at all a particular PDF is very important for you, please try to take a screenshot of it. All right, any particular one, geography though, it's okay, I can send. If you want it, just ping me personally for geography. I'm sorry I will not be able to share the modern history or some other slides which I haven't intentionally shared. So because that is it. So if you want this one though I can share. All right. But then this is nothing much. There's just diagrams and everything here. But if you want, definitely I can. This one. Yeah, please ping me. Either on Telegram or WhatsApp, okay? All right, so the Tropic of Cancer, as you can see here, is passing through 8 states in India. All right, 8 states in India. This is your Gujarat, a little bit of Rajasthan. This is your Madhya Pradesh. This region, Chhattisgarh. This is your Jharkhand. This is West Bengal. Ituki as Tripura. This is your Mizoram. Okay, a mnemonic, let me just give you a silly mnemonic that I remember it by. Great, I remember it like this. Great mad chocolate, just wonderful trip to Mizoram. All right, we have Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram out here. 8 states. Now, if we're talking about the maximum length of the Tropic of Cancer that is passing through which state, we have Madhya Pradesh. The Tropic of Cancer is passing through Madhya Pradesh. The greatest distance is in Madhya Pradesh, okay? And then if you're talking about a city that is closest to the Tropic of Cancer, you have Udaipur out here. You might say, Are, Udaipur is not in Tripura. No, Udaipur is in Tripura. Okay, it's very close to the Tropic of Cancer. Of course, Udaipur is also near here. Rajasthan diwi, ya diwi Udaipur ase. Okay, you have Ranchi here, which is also very close to the Tropic of Cancer in Jharkhand. All right, see, it passes through Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram. Maximum length of TOC is in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and shortest is in Rajasthan. Mahi River. Okay, so here from Madhya Pradesh region, from the Satpura hills, you'll have a river that is coming like this. So this river is known as Mahi, M-A-H-I, Mahi River, okay? And this is the only river in India which is cutting the Tropic of Cancer twice. It cuts here once and it cuts here once. Mahi River is the only river to cut or to cross the Tropic of Cancer twice. Ranchi is the closest capital city to the Tropic of Cancer. Capital city, okay? Udaipur in Tripura is not the capital city. Many students get confused with this. Capital cities north of Tropic of Cancer, Jaipur, Agartala, Aizawl, Mizoram. Capital cities south of Tropic of Cancer will be Gandhinagar, Bhopal, Raipur, Ranchi, and Kolkata. All right. What do you mean? temperature is not as just simply associated with Tropic of Cancer lying on it, right? So obviously, since the Tropic of Cancer is here, the temperature, see, you are going beyond what we are discussing, but let me just say, this is known as your tropical region. This area will witness mostly tropical climatic conditions. Why? Because if this is our globe, 0 degree equator, Tropic of Cancer, this is your Tropic of Capricorn. All right, so we have the tropical region out here. Obviously, tropical region will witness more hotter climatic conditions. Why? Because this one receives more direct sunlight from the sun. This is your subtropical region. Subtropical as it one. So it will be a bit colder out here, but not very cold because we have your Himalayan mountains out here, and this Himalayan mountains is blocking some very cold winds that is coming from the north, called as the Siberian winds. Okay, so the Himalayan mountains blocks the cold Siberian winds, and so even this region, more or less, sometimes it acts as tropical region only. So Indian climate is mostly tropical climate. Okay, this is subtropical climate, but then it does not necessarily simply depend on climate. I mean, like the region. For example, see, suppose we have in Madhya Pradesh, just say, okay, let me just come here in this part. I'll just talk about Delhi. See, this one, this, for example, okay, now we have Delhi here, and this is Darjeeling. Now, suppose these two are lying on the same latitude, like same latitude line of 26 degree, just say 27 degree latitude. But you will find that Delhi temperature and Darjeeling temperature is totally different, even though it's lying on the same latitude. Why? Because elevation or altitude. Delhi elevation above sea level, it might just be around 200 to 300 centimeters above sea level, but Darjeeling, it lies on the Himalayan range, right? And as altitude increases, we have discussed that temperature decreases, okay, which is the inverse relationship between altitude and temperature. So these things are mostly, there are so many factors associated with it, okay? Now in India, stays through the standard meridian passes. So this is your standard meridian in India, which is the Indian Standard Time. The IST line is passing through 82 degree 30 minutes east is your Indian Standard Time, okay, which is passing through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, passing through 5 states: UP, MP, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so these are the 5 states that the Tropic of, like the prime meridian is passing through. All right. Now, okay, so just add that information as well for now. This part from here and here, coastline. Okay, the states and the coastline and boundary, I will discuss it tomorrow. All right, we can wind up our class here for today. Let me not make it too heavy for today. Shall we? Why do you think India and China have very high population compared to other countries? It has been since ancient times too. Do you think the land resources play a role? Because India and China both have very fertile lands, or maybe the climates. You have given so many reasons out here already. See, your reasons are land resources, India, China. Do you think, my question is, do you think poverty is associated with more population, or poverty is associated with less population? I'm going to just give you this thought. Look at the Western countries. Not just talking about land resources, but the wealth of the Western countries. Very wealthy, population is lesser. India, China, especially India, developing countries, population is higher. So that's the paradox. Do what I can say in relation to what you have mentioned here. So most welcome, everybody. All right, I'll see you tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., same timing. Good night. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Samuel. Or I believe it was Samuel only. Yes. Thank you. Laru, you're welcome. See you tomorrow, okay? I'm happy. I'm happy. Of all the questions, keep asking. Good night. Good night.